So hey guys, welcome to my introduction video for my new road bike. This is a 2004 Felt Z4. It is what they would refer to as a endurance road bike, or what they'd call, I guess, a Gran Fondo road bike. So it uses a slightly relaxed geometry, taller head tube for a slightly more upright riding position than a full-on road racing bike. I've owned road bikes in the past. I was a semi-serious bike racer for 6, 7, 8 years, and I've owned some very nice road bikes. And once I quit road racing, where I live, we have rough roads, we have lots of gravel roads. I've just found a road bike to be somewhat impractical and not enough versatility. So after I quit racing, basically my road bikes were cyclocross bikes. So I've owned a number of those over the years. But just recently I started doing Strava segments and Strava segment racing. And I have been using my Salsa Fargo with the 2.3 tires, as well as putting on some 30 millimeter tires. And my times actually aren't that bad. I just need a road bike to kind of close the equipment gap to the guys that I'm trying to run these segment times against. So basically what I did is, it still hasn't been finalized, but my dealer either is going to take my Yeti on trade-in or try and sell my Yeti cyclocross bike, and that should put me most of the way to the purchase price of this bike. This is a very well priced model. The model I actually wanted was the model below this. Is a Z5, but Felt Canada is currently sold out of those. So it's the same frame and fork as this, but it's more of a 105, Shimano 105 setup. They couldn't get that one, so they basically said, well, we'll give you a Z4 for the same price as a Z5. So I said, sure. So the difference being is this will be SRAM Rival components. So SRAM Rival 10-speed. Nice thing is they use SRAM cranks instead of some generic FSA type crank. So Rival rear derailleur, Rival front derailleur. No, sorry, I think it's actually Apex. Yes, so they downgrade to the model below, the Apex. I'm not sure, 100% sure about the brakes, which model they are, but they work pretty well. Yeah, this geometry, this endurance Gran Fondo type geometry, it's a little bit more aggressive than my Salsa Fargo, but it's quite comfortable. I'm not willing to take that full-on hardcore bike racing position anymore. You know, with this riding position, I'll look forward to riding this bike. And I've been doing a little bit of riding with it so far. So what other things can I tell you about it? Yeah, so Gran Fondo, or endurance geometry, endurance type bike. So there's some design features in it. This cantilevered design back here is basically designed to have give, so you get a few millimeters of compliance over rough bumps. So after, you know, multiple hours of riding, that little extra bit of give is gonna be saved from coming through your backside, to your butt, to your back. It also uses a cantilevered setup here. So the idea is there is some compliance here. And they also use a smaller diameter seat post, so it's a carbon 27-2. Again, the idea is to give it a little more give to smooth out the ride. It's a compact setup, so it's a 50-34 up front. The bike did actually come with a, I think it was a 12-32, so a super wide range cassette, which, because I'm basically really only buying this as a Strava segment racer, I put on a much tighter ratio. It's still pretty wide. I mean, it's a 12-28, but I do live in a hilly area, and my main interest is attacking some of the hillier segments. Wheel set wise, it's nothing fancy. They're Felt hubs. They look pretty nice. They got some nice anodized parts to it. It's a Mavic, the CXP 22 rim. You know, it's got nice matching anodized nipples. They're double-butted spokes. It's a 32 spoke rear wheel, so it's tough, durable. It's not an aero rim. Up front, basically the Felt front hub, it's a 28 spoke front wheel, so it's got a slightly lower spoke count. So basically it's a bomb-proof wheel set. I do have a Easton Circuit wheel set, which I think is 20 tooth in the front and a 24 in the back and a slightly arrow rim. So I can use those if I really worried about getting a little bit of extra speed, because it uses a little more of an aerodynamic profile. But then I also have a second set of wheels basically that I can put wider tires on, because these are 700 by 25s. And I haven't ridden with tires this narrow since back when I did road racing. I'm used to now riding bikes where I generally don't ride anything narrower than 28 millimeter. So when you're out riding, you don't have to worry about potholes and avoiding stuff. Whereas now with these wheels and tires and this particular bike in general, I do have to kind of keep an eye on what I'm riding over. What I really like too is this. It uses a basically integrated lower headset cup. So it's got this beautiful design here where it's nicely finished. You don't see the cup. It looks all beautifully integrated, I guess aerodynamic. Nice arrow, fork blade. Yeah, I've done a few rides on it, and it's kind of funny because I think the literature has it at 16.8 pounds, you know, which is pretty light for you know, this price range of bike. I mean, it's a good solid bike. I mean, plenty of people race these, and you know, the upper end version of this frame, they've even raced at, you know, the Tour of Italy, the Tour de France kind of thing. But it's substantially lighter than even my Yeti, and it just feels so toy-like and flimsy when I'm riding it, because it just moves around so freely underneath you. I have to get used to that feeling again. Yeah, what else? Oh, I like the handlebar tape. So it's a little bit extra cushy, again, because it's an endurance Gran Fondo bike. It's thicker handlebar tape, so it's quite comfy. So yeah, just an introduction video for my new bike here. So this is a 2014 Felt C4. If you're looking at this video because you're looking at this bike, feel free to leave any comments or questions. I'll try and answer them if you have any. So yeah, thanks for watching.